Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are talking about the corporate finance fourth structure that will be taken for hurdle rates. Till now we have seen about that. So now today we are seeing about implied ERP and country risk and company risk. So where there is an opportunity, there is risk. Means whenever we have something opportunity to acquire of or we can succeed of, there will be compulsorily a risk, because if you have success then in your opportunity or in your risk you will be getting the opportunity, so that you will be all will be fine. If you are losing in that, or if you did not succeed to get that, then the opportunity will be failed. And first thing is you will lose the opportunity, and second thing is you will be losing the one you already have. So you should take the risk at the premium price at discussing about today, that is implied ERP, that is um equity risk premium. So that in that we yesterday we have described, or we have said about the ERP, that will be actually an equity risk premium is excess return earned by an investor when they invest the stock market over the risk free rate. Means they will be slight an edge over the risk free rate, which they will be applying to giving the percentage of the additional factor, that is the risk. So risk premium is the premium you demand for investigating or getting the average risk investment relative to the risk free rate. Here will be the investment will be always taken in the form of the currency, but not in the form of any sort of country or a region, so that the currency main matters in this sort of risk free benefits. So equity risk premium is basically dependent on the currency of the company or the country. So the equity risk premium is calculated with the difference of the estimated real return on the stocks and the estimated real return of the safe bonds, so that by subtracting the risk free return, the expected return will be shown. So from the expected return, if you take off the investment that is kept at a risk, then you can get the estimated return. So here this is the main view we have got about the ERP. So here you need is to watch how to take the amount in the sort of investment, so that either you should be thinking of being how to pay or how to say. So if you are a person who are saying the information, or if you are taking the input as an investment, then you need to be the person who should pay. Means who should be keeping on researching about it and paying into it, so that it finally one day, or without any risk free margins, you will be out of the factor. But if you are here to say, means if you are a person who are believing that you are making others to keep according to the money that you have kept in, then you will be at risk, because either the market may be running towards you, I mean running towards the plan or the estimation that you have made, but at the end of the day, if it does not work, you will be into the failure. So if you are into the mature markets, in some months the number of people that will be choosing the amount or the equity risk premium for all the mature markets is 5.5. So per suppose you will be estimating for the companies that are AAA rated will be all, or the countries which are AAA rated will be always having the risk free factor, or the mature markets will be having the risk free factor for the 5.5%, or the countries will be having that. So that this was set to equal to the implied premium at this point, where it is very much higher than the historical risk premium of 4.20%, which is already existing or which is prevailing for the period 1928 to 2012. So if we take almost of 100 years, here we have got an percentage of average percentage of 4.20%, so that you will be having any sort of risk that is invested in the 5.5%, which has been accurately increased by 1.3%. So here as we know the um, formula for that taking the ERP. So we have fixed 5.5 percent as the country's risk premium. So first we will be taking the formula, that is ERP is equal to country risk premium plus country default spread into equity standard volume of the equity by standard variation of the country bond. So here we don't know the standard variation of the equity and standard variation of the country bond, but all we know is the country risk premium that we have now said, that is 5.5%. So if you are going to substitute into that, so if you are taking for an emerging market, means the company which is going into scaled in a country where it is emerging, or it is not triple A country, or if you're not sustainable about the certain points of time, then the we will be adding the 5 point, or you will be substituting the 5.5% in the country risk premium, so that emerging market ERP will be equal to 5.5% plus country default spread into standard variation of the equity by standard variation of the country bond. So country bond will be decided by the country, so that how much it has been spent for the or how much GDP it is required for maintaining some sort of T bonds for the company. So the equity will be maintained by also maintained by the country, so that the company of the bank officials like RBI in India will be maintaining the equity that is required for us to maintain at least a certain stage of growth for the stock prices. And the country default spread will be estimated by the time we will be taking the main aspect of the taking as an input. So here the basic composite way of estimating ERP for the countries is, basically we have two three types of the variations that we can say. Those are the ways that we can estimate the ERPs in certain countries. So we need to get a mature market premium. So if you are there in a country, so in a country there will be always like a mature market price or mature market premium, so that you will be first need to know what is the mature market premium of the country at that place. I mean, if you are able to attain it, you will be successful in estimating. So estimate an equity risk premium for the market matured, so that if your preference for an forward looking updated number, you can estimate the implied risk premium for us. Means in the assuming of the buying an intention to the mature market, means you are going to buy a stock in a mature market, so that you will be seeing the updated number or the forward number by asking to the shareholders or the stakeholders. So this is one type of point where we need to get a mature market premium. Means we need to get how much it is done in that company or in that country. Next we will be having a countries which are, as I described earlier, a country which is a triple A country, means the country which is in almost everything. Then it is the companies will be matured, means the generic and the measurable definition of the market maturability will be seen here, so that the countries will be always estimated with the basic price of taking the minimum risk out of it. So these are the triple countries that will be always having the mature markets. Next, if you want to see the riskier country, means if you don't know the estimation of the basic country, or if you don't know the ERP of the country, then the estimate the additional risk premium that you can be charged for the markets that are not mature. Then you have two choices. The two choices are, the default spread for the country is estimated based on the SO1 ratings of the or the CDS markets. As I described yesterday, the CDS markets or the SO1 ratings will be describing the sort of estimations that we made today. Or a scaled up default spread, where you can adjust the default spread upwards to the additional risk of the equity markets. So here we can understand by this by, so if you are for suppose saying 3.2% is the main base ratio of which you are not getting any sort of risk in that, then you need to add the certain amount of the risk that is evolved around the market, so that you can add this 3.2% to that risk that will be showing you the estimated ERP at that time, or if you wanted to calculate for that time. So here these are the two choices that will be taken for a riskier country other than AAA countries, because the companies do not have any sort of matured market. So the not matured market will be climbing up to the estimated ERP in the form of taking the assumptions in the for already existing ERP price, and taking the estimations of the ERP or the riskier part of the ERP in the sort of where how much percentage we will be having the risk if we evolved, or if you invest in that will be added to that. So here we can see different types of countries that are having different types of estimations for ERPs that are actually dedicated for the countries that to follow in any sort of manner. So we will be having different types of steps that are required for finding the country's equities country's ERP. So first one is to find a country's credit or the risk rating. I mean, if you want to see how much the country is offered for the risk rating, we will be having the specifically defined about it in the Google, so that we can see about it. So that find a step one is find a country's credit risk rating. Next, second one is based on the rating, determine the credit spread, which is additionally yield for a over risk investment. Means how much extra you need to keep for the risk, so that you can get the minimum sort of advantages out of it. Next, third step is the to account for the additional risk of the stocks over bonds, multiply the credit spread over the relative to the equity market volatility. This is called as the country's risk premium. Means you will be multiplying. In this you can understand that you can get the country's risk premium by credit spread into relative equity of the market volatility. So we will be multiplying those two, where the credit spread will be the base amount of the market, where the country has to offer the basic yield of the risk free investment, and the relative equity market volatility will be the risk that is offered by the country or the market, where it will be compulsory minimum some sort of percentage that will be offered by it, so that you need to take that risk out of the country. So add the country risk premium to the mature market premium, so that obtained by the S&P of the risk premium. So we will be adding as a fourth step, country risk premium plus mature market risk premium, so that we will be seeing the country's equity risk premium. Means as we know, we are seeing the country's risk premium. The final result will be this. Means if you need to first go for basic credit risk rating and credit risk spread for any sort of company, and you need to go for credit spread into relative equity market volatility for checking the country's risk premium. So after getting the risk premium, you need to go for country's risk premium plus mature market risk premium, so that the country's equity risk premium will be showing you how much the amount of percentage you have got it. So this is all about the percentage that we will be talking about it. So if you talk about equity risk premium in any sort of manner, lower risk lower the potential of the reward, so that you can understand that whichever it is lesser than the below range of the main market, it will be having the lower risk but lower potential of the reward. Generally we will seeing from 0 to 30% of any sort of data. Highest maximum it will be of the nearly to the 30% of data, because you are keeping the risk of the 30% against your will or against your sort of investment. So higher the risk, higher the potential reward. Here we can know that the 30% will be the maximum for many sorts of countries. Means 30% is too much high according to their country. We can see some sort of countries which are having about 20s, near to 27 will be of Venezuela. Or we can see the average companies having the 13%, 14%, and China will be having 6.3%, and North Korea has the again the 22.9%. We will be having different sorts of ERPs that are being created for the percentile, where 6.3% Chile has the lowest premium in the South America, and the AAA the countries which are creating will be having almost of the we have estimated before in the last year, that is 5.5%, and now it is reduced to AAA countries for the 5.2%, where United States and Canada will be having the 5.2%. United States America, United States of America, Canada, Australia, and different types of countries will be having which are AAA rated, like New Zealand also, they will be having the 5.2% as this year. So here we see about it, and now we are going about to talk about how we make the estimations that are made, or how we operations of the companies that we have already discussed previously, like Disney, Bookscape, Baidus, and Tata Motors, and Vale company, and State Bank. So that here the operations of the different companies are the different types, because Bookscape is a company which is settled in an US organization, so that it is not an very much large scale company, it is just a shop. So the Bookscape will be having its all the working or the tendency to expand the work will be in the US, so that it will be having the 5.2%. So if you see the Disney will be having the US and Canada will be having, it is actually Disney is an MNC company, so that you will be taking, or it is established in the US and Canada, so that it will be having 82% of its work from that country, so that the rest of the world will be having the 18%. So the overall ERP of the companies we get is 5.76%. So Baidu is an China's search engine, or the main lead of the search engine, so that the Baidu will be its percentage will be all established in the China, so it gives the 100%, so that it will be getting 6.94%. And the Tata Motors is a MNC company, but it is a group company, so that it has different types of shareholders in it, and everything will be estimated and calculated, so that it will be finally giving the 7.19%, which is of ERP, that is, or the risk that is given for the premiums whoever invest in the Tata Motors by the date. And if you go for Vale company, it is an Brazilian company. So here it is an MNC company, but either the MNC company, all the factors that are taken into it, it will be working mainly for Brazil, North America, South America, and actually Brazil and Chile and Venezuela factors the most of it, so that other MNC companies also invest in this, and the main ERP that is return of this will be as a 7.38%. And the bank is always an MNC company, which is a higher level of bank, like HDFC and Reserve Bank will be taking for 6.12%, because it is spread all over the world. So it will be having some sort of averages taken out of it, so that it will be having the 6.12%. So here we can say basically by this end of this topic, that is, inflations are deadly to stocks. If there are inflations, there will be no rise in the market, so never look at the historic risk premiums, so that you can go for estimations that are more dynamic and viable. So we know that the estimations or the stocks nowadays are more volatile than ever, so don't take a main feedback of historic risk premiums, because they will be not that accurate for us to know about it. So this is all about we have known in the estimation of the hurdle rate. So we will be continuing tomorrow class. Thank you.